Men versus Women. Why we cannot understand each other. Part 1. Trouble communicating with your partner? Do you feel as if you and your partner cannot understand each other? Do your arguments seem to go round in circles without finding a solution? It could be down to the fact that men and women come from two different worlds. Hi, my name is Christina Joseph, owner and counsellor at Elpis Box Couples Counselling. We are an online counselling service that assists individuals and couples in finding the hope that they need to heal their relationships. Many couples struggle to communicate at the best of times. They end up in arguments due to the smallest misunderstandings of what has been said. However, if couples were able to pinpoint the ways in which they are unable to communicate effectively, they can then learn the ways to communicate the best way for both of them. The first step in doing this is to understand and realize that men and women come from completely two different worlds when it comes to communicating. The biological side. One of the main causes of our communication difficulties can stem from our gender. Research and many studies have already shown that being male or female has an impact on our behavior. Boys who underproduce levels of testosterone have been shown to have similar spatial abilities to that of a young girl. On the other hand, girls who overproduce levels of testosterone have been shown to have similar spatial abilities of a young boy. Research has also linked aggression in men to their genetic makeup. These studies have shown that your genetic makeup can have links towards your level of aggression if you're a male or female. It is important to take note that not only genetics play a role in the aggression or the way that you behave as male or female. There is also the understanding that your experiences in life can also play a role in how you react to certain situations. Gender identity. Now, cast your mind back to your childhood. What TV programs did you watch? What films did you enjoy? Which toy was your favorite? Chances are, if you're a girl, you were playing with dolls and having tea parties and watching films about princesses. If you're a boy, you were playing with trucks, having wrestling matches, and watching films about adventure. The world around us will give young children an idea of their gender roles, and chances are that most of us will adhere to these ideas and norms. Our identity as male and female begins even before we're born, with boys being associated with blue and girls being associated with pink. These gender norms and gender roles are instilled in us from a very young age, and they have a massive impact on the way we live our lives and react to our life as it happens. Society also teaches us that as men and women, we are expected to participate in certain activities and behave in certain ways. Gender norms. As mentioned above, the way in which we play and learn life's lessons has a massive impact on the way that we live our lives. Without even realizing it, boys and girls are taught very different life lessons. If there is a conflict on the playground, boys are expected to get over it quickly and move on. Boys are also taught that they need to be a good provider for their future family and that they need to foster independence. On the other hand, girls are taught how to tend to the home, for example, cooking and cleaning skills. Importance can also be placed on raising a family and taking care of a household. Of course, we all know that society is moving away from these gender stereotypical roles and norms. However, they still remain in our subconscious for many of us, and it's important to be aware of these inner thoughts and feelings. Learning emotions. It's no secret that men and women express their emotions in very different ways. Just ask a man and a woman how they're feeling in the midst of a conflict or argument. A man might use words such as annoyed, stressed, defensive, or tense. Whereas a female may use words such as hurt, overwhelmed, sadness, or heartbroken. Can you notice the difference in the tone of the words used? Boys are taught to be emotionally strong, and crying is interpreted as weakness. Independence is prioritized, as well as problem solving, so that you don't dwell on an issue. In order for boys not to dwell on a situation or problem, they are taught to problem solve and be independent. Girls, on the other hand, are allowed to be more emotionally expressive. In fact, girls are more likely to have conversations about their emotions with their mothers or female caregivers, unlike their male counterparts. Girls can sometimes also be taught to be dependent on others, so they may not have the problem-solving skills that we might teach our boys. So, how does this affect us in adulthood when we're in a relationship? When we look back at our gender roles, gender norms, gender identity, and society's ways of how a male and female should be, it's no wonder that men and women find it difficult to communicate with each other. Paths are constantly getting crossed, and ideas about what we should be doing are also misconstrued. This can make situations even more difficult when you have a female who's trying to express herself emotionally and a male who's trying to problem solve. Both may have their own goals and objectives of where they want the conversation to go, but if neither one of those goals are matching up, or, in a lot of cases, if men and women don't have the knowledge to understand that they live in completely two different worlds, it can be really difficult to find a solution to your conflicts. By looking at all these different factors, we now can realize that men and women will see relationships completely different from one another. Next week. In next week's part 2 of this video, we will discuss the ways in which men and women see relationships differently. We will look at how men and women prioritize their relationships, how they view their satisfaction levels in a relationship, and finally, how men and women differ in their views of conflict in the relationship. As always, feel free to like, subscribe, and share this video. You can also have a look at my website and social media profiles below. Thanks for watching.